ever reviewed a model kit, looking up skirts is fine. But if I unintentionally look up this girl's skirts, what's going on, guys? MG2005 Get 'em here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the high-grade mobile doll Sarah from the final few minutes and the mobile suit in the final few seconds of Gundam Build Divers. Now, mind you, I did say this is a high grade. It is in fact a high grade, not a figurized standard. So, with that out of the figurized standard line, it actually looks pretty good. Like, I like the skirt. It's just unique to her character. Like the unusual pointy back skirt. It just looks good. And the recreation of her basically real world form is alright. Like, I had to say, it is kind of weird to see that the stickers look kind of out of place from the beige face and stuff. But I had to say, it is one of the most, like, non-creepy representations of MS girls. Like, I think it is right under Diver Nami from the photos I've seen of her, but I had to say, it is pretty good. Bandai did a good job of recreating this face. Now, I do have a confession to make. I broke this strand of hair, not because I want to, but because it's just because of the conversion design that I will show later on. But it stays on pretty well now because the front part of the hair has a peg that pegs into the strands of hair towards the side, her bands. So, yep, that's well and all. And of course, Bandai has to put in a bit of fan service into her silhouette because she first of all reuses the Diver Nami's leg frame, so her hips and just thighs are more developed than usual. And of course, the chest plate has to have a bit of boob in there. So yeah, fan service for you guys. So even if you're building this little girl, you won't be having like something like Megumin, who doesn't have anything at all. It just looks good. I like the pure white and also the dark purple paired together. Again, it resembles something piloted by Gali Gali. And I did mention that the back skirt looks very much like the Kimura's Trooper's back skirt. I wonder if Koichi is a NSN Iron Blood Orphan fan, but that's not for sure. But anyways, this girl does look pretty good. Now the stickers, the eyes have 3 variations. Looking front, looking towards her right, and looking towards her left. And you do have a duplicate set of each set of eyes, just in case you lost one or you lost both in whatever chance, probably try to peel it off and replace them. There is another set for you. And then also you have the purple hair bands over here, and then you have the green camera on the back. And I think this is it for the real form. So yeah. It is definitely one of the best looking MS girls out there. For the articulation, I have to be careful because, well, that can happen. And also, I did mention how to break that strand of hair. So, yeah, the head is probably limited to that. But anyways, the head is on your usual MS girl ball joint, which allows a wide range of articulation. And then the hair is on that one white polycap ball joint, so you can swing side to side and a little bit of motion, mostly downwards. So that is a little bit limited. And then the arms can rotate all the way around, and then the arms can literally move up all the way, so she can be like, "Hey teacher, I know the answer to this question." And of course the arms over here can rotate above the elbow. Bend the elbow at 2 joints, which is pretty good. It allows her to do a variety of poses, but it does kind of look weird if you bend it all the way, if you're displaying it in her real form. Not so much in her mobile suit form. Well, just because she's a robot in mobile suit form and not this. And then this front flap can move if you ever want to see her overly developed skinny waist. And then the waist and stomach is on the ball joint. Yeah, I did say I broke that strand of hair. So it is offensive, but yeah, I will tell you why in a second. I'll just leave it off. And then the front skirt is pegged onto the front of the waist, and I'm gonna get demonetized now because I removed her skirt. But it is a circular peg in a square hole, so it does allow a bit of movement. And then the side skirts cannot really move out to the side, but it does have that feature of splitting apart. And then the back skirt, a little bit of movement, and then it does have the same feature of splitting apart. And then the legs can go forwards, backwards a little bit, outwards definitely not shabby, rotation at the hip, and a double jointed knee. It looks natural. And then the feet, oh yeah, this can fall off because it is just pegged into a rectangular hole. And look at that arse. She's definitely overdeveloped in this version. And then the foot flap can move up and down, and then the feet can rotate and just move on a ball joint. So all in all, articulation of her is pretty good. Now, you won't be pulling off any like dynamic combat poses with this just because she doesn't come with any weapons, but you can do a variety of things with her. So articulation wise, definitely not shabby. But of course, the high heels means that she may not be able to stand in whatever pose you want. To rectify that issue, Bandai has included a stand. Now this is just your regular cheap stand that is in clear. I really wish that it was in clear green, like in a clear tea green or light green or whatever you want to call it, just so to basically fill in for the moonlight butterfly effects. It just goes into the inner side of the back skirt, not into her anus, so that's, thank God for that. So that is it. But it does mean that she can fall off without her back skirt, which is kind of embarrassing. And then the only quote-unquote accessory, technically gimmicky stuff, is a pair of open hands. Now I have this, and I have her held the scythe of the Gundam Love Phantom, just because I want to test out if she can actually hold the scythe for basically me turning her into Gundam Virgo. Now not this, the robo form. I gotta be clear. So you can just basically switch them out. And there you go. So thank God that Bandai included these. Just because if you want to customize her robo form or her mobile suit form, you can. But there is one drawback. The back piece is not really using anything universal. So it doesn't have any peg holes, it doesn't have a single hole, it doesn't have a double hole. It is just this blank plank. But if you remove it, on the inner side, it's just the inner frame. So there is a bit of a drawback, so I may need to get myself a 3mm hole drill to just basically plug the sky-high wing set if I even can fit it on it, because the double peg system is pretty wide. It looks even wider than the torso, so I may have to work around. But there's one drawback if you ever want to customize the mobile suit form of the mobile doll Sarah. Speaking of which, let's just convert her. I'm so sorry, Sarah. You're gonna board your mobile suit now. So let me just prep her up. Okay, so what you want to do is to take off the head, a disembodied human head. How wonderful. And then take off the arms, and for your own convenience, take off the lower body, because this will not be converted at all. And then what you need to do is to take off the bow on her back, and then take off the collar, which this piece just falls off, the white piece just falls off automatically, and then split her chest plate apart. Split this apart, bring her chest, and disconnect her chest from the inner mechanics. There we go. And now we're left with this. So what you need to do is to rotate these arm connectors forward and then dismantle it. I am not sure why, but I think it is kind of like the mechanism of your water bottle caps. So it just screws in. Now you bring in these white variations of it and then insert it in the same way. Have the holes facing the front and then rotate them towards the side. I don't know what's the significance of it, but, well, I might as well follow the instructions to get the maximum effect. That's that. And then you reattach the chest components, and then now we move on to the arms. Take these beige pieces off, and then replace them with the white ones. Now you can do this when you're displaying Sarah in her real form, probably just to give her a sweater because it's cold. and then reattach them to the chest. Now the head is where I got the most trouble, and this is why I accidentally broke her strand of hair. Now let me take this off, and take her front off, and then take her face off. Let Venom do the job. And this is why I got into a bit of trouble, because what you need to do is to basically lift these strands of hair off. But while I was trying to do that, this strand suddenly fell off. So what I recommend you do is to remove this purple piece. Now that's why I have a scar on her. Just because I want to use my tweezers or forceps, if you call it that, and pull this piece off. Now, by pulling this piece off, it makes it easier for you to take the strands of hair out. So, don't do what the instructions tell you to do if you feel the strands of hair are tight. Just take the purple piece off and then pull the strands of hair out this way. Just in case if you do not want to break your Sarah accidentally. That's my warning there. Reattach the purple piece then, and then bring in the Robo Mode head. Now, I really like how this just looks. And of course, it has a mini Gundam snout. That's pretty good looking. And then, what's next? Oh yes, and then we reattach these strands of hair. But before we reattach the other strand, you get this piece. You use it as the forehead. And now I reattach the strand of hair. I may glue it in after I painted her, so I won't have the annoying falling hair incident. It's just like she got old before she even passed, probably what 13. And then we reattach everything. And then finally, do not forget to raise the antennas on the hair. So this is Mobile Doll Sarah in mobile suit mode. So here is the innocent girl logged into GBN. Now, what I have to say about this, I really like the pure white, just more pure white on the body. It just looks more natural, and it looks like she has a white sweater on. Now, I do really much like the head, the only added stickers being the forehead camera and then the eyes, which I thought the eyes are going to be as a clear piece, but nope, it is just a regular purple piece that you put the eyes on. But I can't ignore that, just with how good she looks, because she looks even cuter than her real form, to be honest. And I did mention this in my post of completion last night, that this is definitely one of the cutest non-SDs in the Gundam market, let me tell you that. Just because she is a mobile suit right now, but she still looks very much like an innocent girl. Too bad Bandai didn't include those moonlight butterfly effects for us to insert when we open the skirts up. But other than that, this just looks adorable. But of course, the same problem just reoccurs, so then you bring back the stand. You gotta see that nice lovely butt again. So now, that's it. That's the mobile suit mode of Mobile Doll Sarah. So for extra parts, of course you do have the leftover stuff from the Davernami plates, but these are kind of mysterious to me because in the final step of the instruction manual, these were left out. And Bandai told you that these pieces can be used according to your own liking. So I'm thinking, what are these pieces used for? Now, I know that they can connect together, but with 2 ball joints and 2 holes, I'm not sure what they can be used for on a Mobile Doll Sarah. So, if you guys have that creative mind just to take her apart and see where this thing fits, you get 2 of these, by the way. Tell me in the comments below, because I think I may be using these if I find them useful in my Gundam Virgo customizations, so yeah, feel free to tell me that. And then, for comparisons, I had to bring in the Gundam 00 Sky. Just because she was seen directly interacting with this decapitated Gundam when she put a bow onto the 00 Sky. Now, I have to say, her height is kind of the same, well, it should be the same as the Davernami kit, because, yeah, they reused the same leg frame and possibly the same waist frame, so you can kind of do immoral experiments by dismantling Daranami and then connecting her torso to Sarah's main body just so you can give Nami a skirt. Not sure. But it doesn't look too out of place. Like, I thought that the mobile doll Sarah will be just gargantuan. It's gonna be like twice the height of the Double O. Just like the Proteus Super Fumina, Hyper Yanko, and the Linko Rinko kit. I don't know what's the full name of that, but those kits are trash, let me tell you that. But and it just stands out too much from your regular Gundams collection. Especially when you collect Gundams, but Gundams only, like me. So I think the mobile doll Sarah does really kind of fit in, and it just creates more of a reason for me to make this into Gundam Virgo instead of probably like the Gundam of Phantom with the angelic wings or stuff, because this just looks innocent. So that's gonna be my review of the mobile doll Sarah. What do I think of this kit? Well, this thing is adorable. Like, there's nothing really much to say. She just looks adorable in both modes. Like, of course, I did say that this mode is more adorable than the real mode, but to each their own, I guess. Now, I had to say, this just rivals some of the best kits that I have for 2018, because this just taught me something. You do not need to have an extravagant design for a model kit for it to be amazing. You can just have a simplistic design like this, and it can already win the hearts of a lot of people. Now, I know it does have some polar like opinions. Somebody like it, some people hate it, but to me, this is definitely a kit that I'm going to be getting if I ever watch a review of it. But of course, I'm doing the review, so that is out of the question. But I would get this no matter what, if I'm customizing it or not. I just really want to have this special thing on my shelf. So to me, it is a take. So feel free to tell me in the comments what do you think of this kit, and thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and also subscribe for more Gunpla reviews, Gunpla news, and all that kind of stuff. Subscribe to the featured channels on my channel page if you haven't, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out, guys. Bye bye.